Listen up.
Hi, Lucy. Hi, Kel.
The Lucy and Kel podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Thursday podcast. We have arrived on the coldest day in Melbourne for 2026.
Yoicks.
Yoicks to you, Lucy.
Yoicks.
And yoicks to you, Producer Casey.
Yoicks.
Hey, it's cold and she's wearing a little off-the-shoulder mesh number, aren't you?
Yes, it's new.
Have you changed?
No, I'm boiling. I'm sweating and I stink.
Oh.
So I had to take my trench coat off.
I was going to say, I don't pay a lot of attention to anything, but you were in a hoodie, right?
No, she was in a trench.
Oh.
I had a big trench coat, but when I came in this morning,
you've done
and
a
I saw
costume
Cal,
change.
Yeah, it looks like a little dressing gown.
Right. I remember. On a Thursday, you remind people of who you are.
Correct.
Dress for the job you want. We power dress on Thursdays.
Correct. Ooh, good one, Cal.
Yeah.
Lucy's not impressed that I wore my hoodie into work.
Not on a Thursday, mate. That's
I
Monday
wasn't
or Friday wear.
Why are you not impressed with my hoodie that you actually got for me?
Yeah.
Why are you not impressed with it?
Because it's Star Wars.
It's Star Wars, everybody. I'm a stormtrooper, everyone. Has it
No,
got
it's
something
just
on
a
the back?
black one. Yeah, it says the original Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
You're the original.
go
You're the
Star
OG
Wars.
Stormtrooper, man. Ridiculous.
At least I'm not the guy that we saw on the TikTok last night. And there's a trend going around, and I think it's all in good fun, where husbands who love Star Wars will dress up as somebody from Star Wars, and the wife will just go to town on him.
Yeah.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? Yeah.
Crazy.
He was standing there with his lightsaber. He's like, don't you think this is awesome? And the wife's like, I
Go
think
away.
we need to see other people.
Very funny.
That wouldn't be a game breaker if I dressed up as Star Wars characters on the weekend, would it? What? Maybe.
It's just a new ick unlocked, really, isn't it?
Time to move forward because the most important thing is happening in regards to Lucy and Casey's relationship. Tonight, everybody, they are going out as friends to a night out on the town.
We are walking a red carpet together tonight at the premiere of Waitress The Musical, which is opening tonight in Melbourne.
Ain't nothing Lucy loves more than a red carpet affair.
I actually get massive anxiety about the red carpet. I love going to shows.
Yeah.
And I'll walk the red carpet to see the show, but I have chronic anxiety when
You're so
I get on
good
the
at
red carpet. No, I'm
though.
not. I have
You
like
are.
full panic attack
No.
inside it.
No, you
And I get
don't.
nervous and I giggle and I feel like they're all like, who's this woman?
No.
And I'm like, I'm on radio. And then I look
So-
at myself and I'm like, why did you pose like that?
So
And
not doing the red carpet tonight?
No, you have to do it to get into the venue.
Oh, wow.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't
No.
know it was law.
It's
Yeah.
law.
All right,
Maybe a
as
law.
Casey's been on a red carpet before.
She has.
Yeah, the pink carpet, they say.
Oh, the pink carpet.
Why?
No, I'm being silly because I'm not as important.
Oh.
I was on the red
It's
carpet.
like karate and there's different colours of
Yeah.
carpet. Right, I gotcha.
Correct. I took photos on there. Really, no one knew who I was, but I was like, I don't care. This
Doesn't
is cool.
matter. Doesn't matter. At those events, no one knows anyway. So you just
No,
pretend
the
you're somebody.
last red carpet I was on the carpet for Cats, and I ended up in the paper,
Yep.
in the society pages, going Lucy Holmes, sin attendant at Cats, and I was so excited. That still is exciting for me.
Yeah.
And the little girl in me is like, I'm in the paper, and I was with my daughter, and my daughter was so thrilled, so I bought her the paper, and now she's in the. And I still think it's really exciting. I'm not so dumb to say, oh, I don't care. But when you go, oh, look, I'm in the paper, it's real. I cut it out and I sent it to my mum, and my mum cares and I care.
Yeah.
I just think it's nice that you two are getting to go out outside of work hours.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun.
Watch out.
We're gonna have so much fun.
Don't talk about work, guys.
Well,
Figure
no,
something else to talk
we talk
about.
about lots of different
Talk about
stuff. We've
things.
talked about theology, religion, faith. We've had massively deep
We have.
conversations. We
Fun
talked about
night.
Riley. We've talked about you.
Yep.
Oh, I have
We'll
no...
talk about you.
I have no doubt. I've already told Casey that guys get it. I get it. If I do something that maybe has somehow frustrated you at home, when I see you on the phone almost immediately after that, I know you're on the phone to one of your friends.
Yep.
Actually, I don't do that.
I'm sure
I don't. If you've done something big, I'd wait till I have tea and coffee with her and be like, hey, this is what I'm going through. But
Well, if you're not doing that, then why on earth would you be talking about Riley and me? Aha! And on that bombshell,
oh dear.
it's time for...
Lucy's Ridiculous Footy Tips.
Will Casey be on the phone during the musical production checking the footy tips?
She better not be.
No.
She is leading.
Phone etiquette in theatre. If I see anyone get their phone out, I will throw down.
I'm actually scared. I might cancel. I'm scared.
For those
No,
of
it's
you
fine.
playing along, and who wouldn't be playing along at this time of the year with Lucy's ridiculous footy tipping, Casey is in the lead, ahead of me by 1 point, ahead of Lucy by a clear 10 points. Casey is on record as saying she doesn't actually remember even tipping last weekend. So maybe the computer did it for her. which frustrates Lucy to no
To
end.
no end.
Yep, I'm a genius.
So let's get to it. Casey, have we had any correspondence about someone saying thank goodness for Lucy's footy tipping tips?
All the time.
All
Yep, they love it. These people are following
Oh,
along.
it sounds like it's a real community resource,
Yeah.
Lex.
Yeah.
Not just something you've locked yourself into
Yeah.
early and really want to get out of right now, but can't until we get to the end of the season. Game number 1 is your boys. Over at Optus Stadium in Perth, it's the Fremantle Dockers versus the Hollywood Hawks.
Listen, people are tipping the Dockers because it's their home ground, but I'm tipping the Hawks because I bought the hat and I look really good in the hat.
Because she looks good in hats,
Yep.
Hawthorn to beat Fremantle over in Western Australia.
Agreed. At 8:10.
Well, not really. For them, it would be like 6:10.
Yeah, true.
But for us, it's 8:10. Thank you for that, Perth. Friday night, the Brisbane Lions versus the Blue Baggers.
Well, you know, I was a Brizzy girl. I like the Gabba. When my mum and dad drive into the city, they go the back way and you have to go past the Gabba because they're coming from the south. And so I've driven past the Gabba a lot. And I've never been into the Gabba ever in my whole life.
Never been into the Gabba.
No, and I grew up in Brisbane, which shows you how much I love sports. And so because of the fact I know where the Gabba is and I have driven past it, and Queenslander, I'm going to go for the Lions.
Cushy has a rough idea where the Gabba is. Brisbane to beat Carlton.
Yeah.
Port Adelaide versus the Bulldogs.
The Bulldogs this week have hired someone to help them do better, to win better, to play better, to perform better.
Really?
Yes. They have hired, it's a news story, and I'm
Okay.
going to talk more about it in the next 24 hours on the show. But they have hired Josh Pitterman. Now, neither of you will know who Josh Pitterman is, but I know. He was Phantom in Phantom the Opera. He was Jean Valjean in Les Miserables. He is a music theatre icon, and he's just been hired by the Bulldogs to help the team perform better. So my
How?
love of music theatre is intersecting AFL, and because of that I'm going to back the Bulldogs because I reckon they've had a session with Josh and he's like helping them be the best performers because he's a great performer.
That is an extraordinarily ridiculous footy tip, but I like it, and I still don't quite understand what's going on, but we'll find out more on tomorrow's show.
Yeah.
Bulldogs to beat Port Adelaide because music theatre. Saturday, North Melbourne versus the Sydney of Swans.
Not all tips have to be stupid. These guys are first on the ladder. I would be stupid to tip against them.
It's not stupid footy tipping with Lucy, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous footy tipping with Luce.
Well, I want the Swans to win.
So it'd be ridiculous of you not to tip the
That's
Sydney
right.
Swans.
It would be ridiculous, and that's ridiculous in and of itself.
Okay, here we go. Brace yourself, Casey. GWS versus Essendon.
Always never Essendon because of Casey.
Great. That's straight to the
So-
point. Let's go next. Sons and your husband's team, St Kilda.
You know what? I'm feeling the suns. And I'll tell you why. We need a bit more sunshine in Melbourne. Look at the weather today. It's disgusting. We need sun. So the closest thing I can get is the Gold Coast Suns.
Excuse me very much. Ross has got the boys
Is he?
building to something special.
But they're playing at the Goldie.
St Kilda to beat the Suns this weekend. That's the tip you can take to the bank.
No one else thinks that. 93% of tippers are tipping the Gold Coast Suns. Anyway.
All right, Gold Coast Suns because Lucy's got a problem with Casey for Essendon and she's got a problem with me for St Kilda.
Yeah.
The Cats versus Collingwood.
You know, I once was running and a magpie swooped me so bad and it bit me behind the ear and slashed my ear and I ran with a bleeding ear. And because of that fact, I'm going to tip the Cats.
You're tipping the Cats.
Yeah.
It is a massive game where Scott Pendlebury will be crowned the AFL player to have played the most games in the history of the game.
Really? How old is he?
Scott Pendlebury is the ripe old age of 38 and he is about to surpass the AFL record of 432 games played this weekend, which is extraordinary for a 38-year-old.
Wow.
What will they give him? A crown?
Collingwood
or
have asked for his number to be emblazoned in gold.
On his shirt?
The big 11 that he wears, they wanted it to be gold
on his shirt?
on the back of his jersey.
Yeah, do that.
I believe AFL have said no.
Oh, that's mean.
that's ridiculous.
Oh, come on.
Look, it's not all,
money he brings
even
in.
though it's all about Scott Pendlebury, it's not all about Scott
Well, I'm
Pendlebury.
sorry. It's about a culture of honour, and that is not honouring him. I want him head to toe in gold glitter.
Yep.
Gold sequin hot pants, a gold top. He should have a little gold crown on.
But they're still going to lose?
Yeah, they
Okay.
are. Yeah.
On Sunday, Melbourne versus the West Coast Eagles, or as Lucy likes to call them, the
The
Weagles.
Weagles. I'm going for the Demons.
I'd love it to just finish there, but
Yeah.
you've got to give us a reason.
The reason is because we've got little tiny dogs, Pomeranians, and I don't like letting them outside because I'm so scared an eagle is going to pluck them up.
This is 100% true, Casey. She thinks a bird of prey is going to alight down onto one of our decks, pick up the dog and fly away with it.
Well,
It's happened. I've seen it on TikTok.
Babe.
And so I just don't want an eagle to take one of my babies. Well, I've got a tiny baby and from a distance she might look like a rat. And so because of that, the eagles do not get my tip.
So because birds are praying, birds are praying,
Yeah.
she's going for Melbourne. And finally, we are here, everybody. It
Yeah.
is Richmond versus the Adelaide Crows.
Look, you've never seen a crow take a Pomeranian, right?
No.
So therefore the crow is the safe option. But if I put my Pomeranians up against the tigers, it would be eaten. So the safety for my dogs is paramount, thus it's the Adelaide Crows.
Lucy's ridiculous footy tips.
Only round 9, Les.
Oof.
The Lucy and Kel podcast.
I am fully inoculated from the influenza virus. Congratulations to me. Well done to the nurses yesterday who were here giving out the flu jab. And although I'm not a fan of the needles, I got one in my right arm because I'm a lefty and I am now inoculated from the flu. Will it stop me from getting the flu? No, it won't. But there's a reason why you get them, and there's a good reason that I can't remember about right now. I won't spread the flu. I think that's what it is.
Okay, good.
And I don't want to give the flu to old people.
Nice,
Because
kind.
they're the ones that suffer the most with things like influenza.
Yeah.
It's good to get inoculated. If you've
Correct.
been paying attention, there was some discourse about the fact that in order for us to get our free flu jabs at work yesterday, we had to sign up to a list.
A schedule.
A schedule. There was a
book a time.
time-based schedule of you could pick a time to go and get the inoculation.
Yep.
Now, classically, whenever anything like this happens, whenever there's any sort of form to fill out or something to click on for me to attend to meetings or get involved in some sort of ordered situation, Lucy does it for me.
Yep.
Because she knows I won't even bother.
Yeah.
I'll just delete the email and move on with my life. So Lucy signed me up and it went like this. First in, best dressed was Lucy. She was the first into the form. She clicked on the button. She got the first position.
Yeah.
Second was me, purely by association. I'm married to Lucy, so therefore I'm number 2.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth.
Yeah.
People clicking, ticking boxes.
Booking in times.
And booking in times. And it was all set to go yesterday morning.
Yep.
One of the issues Lucy has had over the years is
People who push in.
people
Pusher-inners.
people don't follow the rules.
We book a time, and last year I booked the first slot, and when I came out, there was 5 people queuing up down the hall, and I said, what's going on here then? And they said, well, we're just going in. I said, no, we booked times. They were like, nah. And I was like, yeah.
No.
And so this year, to stop that, I went and stood in the hallway an hour before my time. The
Got a seat,
nurses
you
weren't
gotta-
even here.
You put a seat out
Put
the
a
front.
seat there, and I was like, no one is taking my time slot. And then do you know the funniest thing happened? I put it on my socials, but only a few of you would have seen that. The nurses come in, they set up, they open the door to the office, and guess what? Someone here, I won't say his name, I love him to bits, he walks past me and walks in. And I went after him and I said, hold your horses. What are you doing? He goes, I'm just sneaking in. I said, no, you're not. I booked the first slot. I want the first slot.
What
and
about
then
the rules?
I said, I'm not having any of this. Get thee behind me, Daryl.
The best thing was, I think your first time call was for like 10:15.
Yes.
That was you first.
Yeah, the first time.
Daryl wanders into the area,
Yeah.
just having a look around,
Yeah.
seeing what's going on. Is
Bless
there a
him.
line? Is there not a line?
Yeah.
And then you asked a very important question, what time did he book?
Yes.
And he said
11.
11
And
a.m.
I said, not on my watch. And then
So he has gone and done the thing that you're supposed to do. He's followed the rules to
Yeah.
a point, but then
Yeah.
decided, you know what, I'll just go in and get it done. What I will say...
because last year was chaos. And
No,
so
well, not chaos. Can I say? I think...
There was no
what-
chaos,
listen,
actually.
You are a rules person and I've married you and I get it. Let's follow the rules.
Yes.
But even the guy that runs HR here, Andre, who's just a delight, had to go down the hallway and reassure everybody that even though Lucy is yelling at you all... The flu and vaccinations are free, and there's only like 12 of us here in the office, everyone's going to get a flu vaccination
No, I know.
shot.
Listen, the funny thing is, though, once I got Daryl to get out of the doorway and I could walk in and claim my rightful spot as the first person who'd booked weeks ago, I walked into the nurses cheering, and I think they were very surprised
You
because I
did.
walked
You
in
actually
cheering.
raised your fist into the air and strided into...
And cheered.
And cheered because you had finally won the day and followed the rules, and everyone had succumbed to your rule
And these
following.
poor nurses had no idea what was going on. There's just a girl storming into the room cheering, I'm first, I'm first. Anyway.
I looked at our HR representative and I said, Andre, you all right? And he goes, you know what, Kel? Sometimes the biggest problem with HR is the people.
You know, the bad thing is, I was joking to head of HR, and I was like, and Daryl pushed in, and he's like, Lucy, did he have a good reason? There might have been extenuating circumstances about his health. And then I felt really bad.
And
then
they're
I
like,
went
don't HR me now, Andre.
I went and apologised to Daryl. I said, it was just just a joke. But Daz and I are good mates, and he's texting me right now, actually.
Andre's a mind wizard.
Oh, he really is. That's why he's in HR. Anyway, rules are made to be followed.
Lucy's a rules person.
I love a rule.
I feel like I'm a rules guy. I acknowledge rules.
You don't break rules. You're not a rule breaker.
Look, I won't break rules just to be a jerk.
No, and Casey's a rule follower
but
too.
I will acknowledge sometimes I'm like, well, that rule's not really for me.
Yeah.
But I thought this morning, in honour of Lucy's love of rules, let's put together a bit of a Lucy list this morning.
The Lucy List.
What is the golden rule for you? What is the one rule in your life that you wished everyone would just follow? Your life would be so much better if they just followed this one rule of yours.
Yeah.
Now, if I asked Lucy, there'd be so many. There'd be ones like, I know some of your rules. There'd be ones like, when you're going up an escalator, left-hand side for standing, right-hand side for walking.
Yeah, and also don't stand in the middle and just stand there because, like I've said famously, It's not a ride.
Again, don't have to be angry about it.
I'm not angry.
It's okay.
Here's another one.
I know. I am well aware that you've probably got 23 golden rules.
Here's my other golden rule. Queuing. Learn how to queue.
Okay.
Don't
You've
step a
established
meter.
that.
No.
You
Don't
just spent 15 minutes on this.
No, this is different.
Oh, okay. This is another queuing
This is
rule.
another queuing thing.
All right.
Sorry. This is much different. When you're in a queue, proximity matters. Don't be a metre or 2 metres away from someone because where is the queue? Perfect amount of distance between you and the person in front is 2 foot. So have 2 foot between you all. No, don't come closer than that, and don't stand further than that. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think you should have some sort of podcast
Called
where
The
you
Rules.
just talk about the rules you
of
wish
life.
everybody else was
The rules
following.
of the game. Annette is typing in all caps. I think she's shouting, keep left unless overtaking.
That is also one that I think a lot of us get confused by.
Yeah.
Because often, and I'll admit, I grew up thinking the right lane is the fast lane for fasties, not just for overtaking. It's just for overtaking, guys. I thought it was for fasties. And the slowies are in the left with
Can
me.
I just say another couple of rules on that? If it's an 80 zone and I'm doing 80, don't come up behind me
Doing 82?
doing 100 and make me panic because I have anxiety. And when you tail me, I get very upset and anxious. I was doing 80 down Maroondah Highway the other day and a guy was doing 100 and he kept trying to smash into the back of me and then he took off and he was driving a Mercedes.
Hang on, Producer Casey. I'm just moving a few songs down because it looks like we're going to be talking about these rules for a bit. And
Also, here's another rule. When you get out of your car in shopping centres, don't bang your door into people's cars. Just be really aware. We all spend a lot of money on our cars. Let's not bang doors. And if you've got little kids, let's teach them not to bang doors.
So
okay?
that was one golden rule for our Light family, another 3 from Lucy.
Okay, Jude has said, to the people out there that think the floor is gum's resting place, stop it. It's ridiculous.
floor-
Put your gum in the bin.
Right, okay. Yes. Oh, if you're chewing gum.
In Singapore, you'd go to prison for that.
That's what we often say. Not sure if that's true, but that's what we often say.
Well, I think it's a fine.
Reasonable thing to assume that if you throw chewing gum on the floor, straight
Yep.
to prison.
Tanya goes, keep left unless overtaking, especially if you choose to drive 20 under the speed limit or if you're scared to pass a truck going 20 over the speed limit.
All right, so far we've got some of the Light family saying right-hand lane is only for overtaking. You must not just sit in there going fast. And then we've got another group of Light family members going, I'm a fast person. All you slowies over on the left, stay slow. It's like there's a miscommunication.
Here's one from Jody. I love this. Again, all caps, so people are passionate. Stand to the side when you have a conversation at the shops, not in the middle of the aisle or the walkway. Oh, that gets my goat. When people are standing in the middle and you literally can't get around them and you walk up to them and they blink at you and you're like, excuse me,
They're just having a chat.
just move to a side.
They're just 86. They're having a chat. They're catching up.
Marlene says, my elder son Harley and myself are rule followers. Hail Queen Lucy of all rules.
Oh, she loves them.
Golden rule. She goes, where do I start? There are heaps. She goes, teach the kids to say thank you for a gift at any age.
We are
She goes, and
trying.
if they don't do it, embarrass them right there and then.
I know a lot of parents are trying, and it's not always sticking. I know that we continuously remind our kids to say thank you, and it takes a while. But I agree, teaching the kids to be polite and be grateful for things is a great golden rule.
A lot of people saying treat others how you want to be treated. Vanessa and Mark, do unto others as you do unto themselves.
Well, that is the golden rule.
That is a golden rule, isn't it?
Gardner Lee has joined us this morning. Good morning, Lee.
Good morning, guys. How you going?
Very good, Lee. Thank you so much for your time with us here on the show. Is there a golden rule you'd like people to follow? Just the one?
Well, yeah, I spend a lot of time on the road being a gardener, and the one that I am very passionate about is if you come up to road work, say you need to merge, or if there is a merging lane, use the zipper method. One car for one car.
Zip, zip.
Lee,
zip, zip,
you have
zip,
never
zip.
spoken a truer word as somebody who also spends hours on the
Yes.
road during the week. People have no idea what it is to merge into, if you've got 3 lanes merging into 2, it's like people want to jam their car into a spot that's not there. And
Yeah.
I understand your frustration, Lee.
Come on, just one at a time and we all get there.
Look, if we all teamed up together as a human species, we could achieve a lot, including merging.
You know what? I saw a sticker on a car recently and I loved it. And the sticker said, please let me merge or I will cry. And I thought, I need that sticker.
The Lucy and Kel podcast. You're going to love this next bit. Oh, spoiler alert.
And it's time to celebrate International Days, as we often do here at The Light at this time of the morning. And today is International Password Day, everybody. Passwords, they have become a thing that we all live by. They are the greatest thing ever invented and also probably bring the most amount of frustration. Passwords, when we forget what the password is. Passwords are necessary because we're living in the digital age.
Yeah.
And I just thought, let's talk passwords this morning because we all have them. I
Let's
would
give
have
them
thought.
out.
Let's not give them out.
What's your password, Casey?
And let's not give clues as to what our passwords are.
No.
We here at The Light, actually, I couldn't tell you what my passwords are because we use security
Like an
systems.
encrypted system that gives
Yeah.
you numbers. And it's
My
like
passwords-
X375 exclamation mark asterisk asterisk underscore backslash extra X3WE hashtag percentage sign underscore at symbol star, and that'll be your passcode.
Yeah, so if you forget that, you're in trouble. So, yeah, we can't quite work out what our passwords are anymore because there's a computer that does it for us. I don't know what happens if somebody gets into that computer.
Then we're all done for.
It's kind of like we're going to protect all the passwords and keep them in this one spot here.
This one computer. No, it's not like that. Hey, can I ask you a question? And I don't think you probably have done this, but I think a lot of people do this. Maybe. Family passwords. Like everyone in my family, I could hack my mum's socials, my dad's socials, maybe my sister's, maybe not. But we all used to share the same password growing up.
The one password.
Yeah. And we had one password. Like back in the 80s, we had this really 80s security system and we all had the same password. And then we all had a variation of that to do everything. And so I know I could get into my mum's anything. In fact, once I did, I was like, I wonder if I can log into my mum's Foxtel. And I guessed the password. And I did. Do you have a family
I
password?
think that was a long, long time ago where we didn't realise what we were doing. I think that's that sort of time where everyone gets the same password in the family. I don't think that is what is suggested for a solid password in this day and age. No, we never had a full... I mean, I know my passwords of... Like, I know your password to some things, and I know the kids' passwords into their devices, until some days you log on and you're like, why is the password changed? Children, into the kitchen! And then I realise I've put the wrong number in or something like that. Yeah. But I've got a few things for best password policy. You ready?
Yeah.
And tell me how you feel about all this.
Yeah.
Best password policy. Here we go. Best passwords contain 15 characters or more. Can you think of a word with 15 characters in it? 15 characters or more. They say that's mandatory.
Oh, gosh, none of mine are that.
If you want a good password, you need to be over... Oh, so we know that under 15 words for Lucy's password. She's just revealed all. You've got to be careful, babes.
Sorry.
So if you can have characters that are 15 characters or more, you're doing well. Again, this is the thing that I think everyone This is the thing we wish we didn't have to do, but you must have multi-factor authentication.
Yes, I like that.
Can we find another way? Multi-factor authentication. I don't need to get my laptop, then my mobile, and then I have to go to this place in the city and knock on a door twice.
I've got to tell you, you are about to be in.
Do you love it?
I know. I'm just going to give you a quick warning.
I know we're doing it, yeah.
No, you're going to be in so much trouble soon.
Are you the only one that's done it in our group?
No, everyone literally in the company's done it but you. And
Except me?
They're having like an all-staff executive meeting and there's a list of people and it's just you.
I thought it was our whole team.
And Simon stopped me and he's like, and I said, listen, Simon, Kel's his own man. And then I explained to him that
Why didn't Simon come to me?
Because you were
directly.
You were recording a podcast.
I'm approachable.
And then also I said, I don't know what he's going to do, Simon, because Kel's phone doesn't work and that's how you do the two-factor.
Yeah, but it just sends a text message, doesn't it?
Nope. You need to download an app.
Oh, well, I'm useless then.
I know. I said to Simon, you'll never get it. You'll never do it, Simon.
They'll never catch me.
Anyway, I'm just giving you a heads up. That's coming down the pipeline for Kel.
Thanks for delivering all that sensitive information about our behind-the-scenes business on the air directly to everybody listening.
No problems.
Appreciate that. So multi-factor authentication is a real thing now.
Yes.
And password managers, which we do have here.
Yes.
And that's what makes all the passwords indecipherable.
Yeah, we love that.
So passwords, guys. Isn't
Love
that
it.
great? I thought very quickly this morning, survey says...
Survey says.
How many passwords do you think you have? I used to just have the one for everything. That was back in the very early thousands, where it was just a password. That was your password. It was my password for everything. You could literally get into everything that I had a password for because it was the same password because I didn't want to remember more than one password.
Yeah.
If I had to get a second password, I'd just put an exclamation mark on the end of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that would be the password.
Yep.
Just off the top of my head, because of the way security is set up here, I've probably got 35 passwords. And I don't know any of them. And if the little machine that we put our passwords in falls over,
Trouble.
it's pen and paper, everybody.
Trouble.
How many passwords do you think you got?
Hundreds.
Hundreds?
I am the queen of, let's just say I've set up a password for online shopping. Give me a shop name. Let's just say Peter Alexander. Let's just say I've set up an account for Peter Alexander a year ago and I bought pajamas. And then today I want to go pajamas. I will go on and I reset password. And then I reset the password and then I don't write that one down. And then if I ever go on again, reset password. I can't tell you any password.
That's the problem.
I hate it. And I always get locked out.
Do you have to pick the pictures? Name this picture that has a bird in it?
Click the squares where there's a bike.
Yeah,
and you're like,
just to prove
there's
that
like
you're a real
a
person.
1 inch of a bike on this square. Anyway, I never remember my passwords. There's too many. Juliet says, morning, I've probably 50 plus passwords.
50!
I gave up a while ago because using the same ones caused trouble. So now I just use a difficult one that is prompted and I save it to copy and use when I need it. I like the security of it.
Okay, you spoke very fast there and my brain is slow this morning. Are you saying she has one password to rule them all?
It sounds like she does.
And a super difficult one?
Yeah. Do you know what I hate? When you put your password in and then the message comes up going, this password appeared in a data leak. Oh, I don't like that.
I've never had that because I'm just not connected to anything. What happens when you're involved in a data leak?
I don't know. I get it all the time.
Well, you are clicking on a lot of stuff.
I am. I do a lot of online shopping.
Casey and I are getting a lot of spam emails saying that Lucy sent us here. For you.
No.
For you to- please click on this so that Lucy gets a free pair of shoes. And I'm
Well,
like, "Babes,
you know,
what are you doing to
I needed
us?"
you to sign up to somewhere the other day so I could get 20% off as a new customer. So I had to sign up Kel because I'd already signed up a while back.
And then a sad face appears on my laptop and it shuts down forever. But Lucy gets new shoes.
Listen, they're sparkly. They're rhinestone-covered Adidas, guys. What are you going to do? I needed them. Jude goes, morning, most of my passwords are the same. When I got my school email years ago, I only had that email. Hence, I use that email for everything. And look, it goes on. I should have pre-read this
look,
one.
it goes on.
Sorry. Anyway, he goes on to say, sorry, it's a long text and I didn't pre-read. It's a series of random letters, uppercase and lowercase, and it's the most random thing in the world.
Well, that's what it tells you. When you're putting the password in, it's like, nah, not enough lowercase letters, nah. Not enough numbers.
There's a symbol. Jody goes, I don't know how many passwords.
Oh.
I don't know how many passwords I have. But I do click on average. Forgot your password 500 times a week. Just like me, Jody.
500 times a week. It is annoying when you forget. But
Do you
they're
know
there for a reason.
how? Do you know what's fun though? When you're sitting there and you crack your knuckles and you're like, what could my password be? And you put in a random password and it gets through first time and you feel like
Yeah, you don't have to put like 07 on the end of it.
Yeah, you're like, I did it. I hacked in. I mean, and you didn't, but I feel like a hacker.
The Lucy and Kel podcast.
There is a video of a Victorian mum that's gone viral because she has confronted a grown man who made a comment to her teenage daughter while she was simply buying lunch at a bakery in beautiful Torquay. The mum filmed the confrontation, which I thought was super brave, after the man allegedly came up to the girl and said something in the bakery. The video's been viewed now heading towards 1 million times. Everyone's calling the mum a hero for speaking up, using her voice. This is a little bit of the audio from the video.
Is there a problem with you?
No.
No? You're not going to make any more comments about young girls' bodies while they're in a shop buying food?
It wasn't about her body.
What was it? What did you say?
What?
What did you say?
I said, it'll go straight to your hips.
Oh, did you...
It's not talking about her body.
That's exactly talking about her body.
That mother lioness protective rage that she felt. And she thought if he has the gall and audacity to come up to her daughter and shame her for eating something, then she's going to film him and call him out on it. And I was blown away by the video. I think I commented on it going, you know, well done. If someone came up to my daughter and did the same, I don't know if I would film it, but I certainly would think I would say something and call them out in the moment. You can see why it's gone viral.
I think if we would all speak directly to that individual, we would tell him first and foremostly, it's none of his business.
None of his business.
And to think that you have the right to come into a public place and make a comment about somebody that you have no connection with.
And a young girl.
It's very hard to keep your emotions in check because all you want to do is let that individual know that he is an absolute goose. That's the best I can say about that individual.
As a mama bear,
Yep.
and mums have this innate genetic DNA-based raw within us to protect our little cubs. Do you feel that as a dad if someone came up to your girls and said something?
I don't think there would be any filming if a father was there.
Right.
I think the police would have turned up. It's just such a stupid thing to say to somebody, and that individual has absolutely no right to make any comments to anybody that he's not associated with.
Yeah. The lady later on in the video goes, have you got daughters? And he goes, no. And she goes, thank goodness, because they don't need to be told those kind of things. I was thinking about this. I was thinking about an experience I had with my daughter once. I can't go into details, but something happened in a shop. I didn't know it had happened at the time until we were driving away, and then my daughter told me. And I wanted nothing more than the gentleman had left the shop, unfortunately. Otherwise, I was a moment away from pulling back around, parking, running in there and having words with this gentleman, real words. But he had left, and I had a great conversation with my daughter out of it because I wanted to turn what was a super negative experience into something empowering. And I wanted to talk to her about those moments when these things happen because, unfortunately, these things happen. People are silly. People say stupid things or do hurtful things. And as much as we want to protect our kids from ever having to experience this, we cannot. One of my favourite quotes is from an author called Glennon Doyle, and she talks about this in one of her books about her daughter. And she realised that as a mum, she wanted to protect her daughter from all the fires of life. But then she realised parenting was not about that. Parenting was about teaching her daughter to walk through the fires and come out fireproof and unscathed, because we can't stop them from going through things in life. And I thought we could have a really great chat this morning about building that resilience in our kids, because if you're like me, I don't want this to happen. And you know what? We should live in a world where it doesn't, but it does. So how do we prepare our kids to handle these kind of situations?
Well, the mum knew what to do.
She did.
To keep this Neanderthal accountable. Call him out immediately. Don't take a step back. Take a step forward. Make sure that he knows what he is doing is wrong and that he shouldn't be doing it. And that takes a lot of bravery. But how do we instill that into our kids? Because you're right, conundrum about being a parent, especially in this day and age, is that you want your kids to have the happiest, most joy-filled life.
Totally.
And be protected from everything. But then that means they're not equipped to deal with the fact that, unfortunately,
that's right,
in this world, there are some real idiots.
Some of the things I said to my daughter after our interaction at this shop, I said to her, in these moments, don't make yourself small. I said, you're allowed to be big. You're allowed to be noisy. If you get it wrong, it's okay. I'd rather you get it wrong and be loud than to hide away. I said, so you can shout. You can say, stop. You can say, Mum, this man is, and then whatever is occurring. You can say to the man, stop, directly to his face with a hand in his face. I said, you can look for another adult or say anything you want. I said, make yourself big in this moment. But I had a thing happen when I was a kid with my sister. We were at a beach and a gentleman came over to us. And what happened was awful. But my sister sister, who is a fierce woman, she turned it into a life lesson for me where she took control of the situation, even though she was a teenager, and humiliated this man and taught me that it was okay to stand up and be loud and be brave, and that we weren't going to be small and we weren't going to be trodden on by people in these situations. It was a terrifying situation, but now I look back and she taught me so much about taking up space and being loud, and like exactly what this mum did in the video.
Standing
she took
up
up
for yourself.
space, she was loud and said, "Hey mate, not on our watch," and I thought it was brilliant. A message here from Rachel in Ringwood said, "My daughter came home upset after someone had teased her braces. We talked about the difference between someone's opinion and her actual worth, and now she says to people, well, that sounds like a you problem." That's cute. Melissa in Werribee says, "I don't rescue my kids from every hard situation anymore. I coach them through it afterwards instead. It's hard, but it definitely builds confidence in them." Karen in Frankston says, "My mum taught me to look people in the eye and say, please do not speak to me like that."
Yep.
And I have taught my own daughters the same thing.
Need to be able to have enough self-respect to be able to stand up for themselves in these sorts of situations.
Yeah. Vanessa in Huonville says, "I'm not a mum, but as a support worker, I feel the same way when people say things about people living with a disability. So for me, it's about trying to educate those people who say those ignorant things." Correct. And I think that's what this mum was doing. She was trying to educate this man. Hey, guess what? This is bad behaviour. We don't do it.
Look, probably two options she had: rip the guy's head off or do what she did and try and educate him.
Do I think he'll ever make that comment to another girl in a bakery ever again?
We hope not.
Probably not, because it has gone viral.
Maybe he needs some education, but really it's just inexcusable.
Don't comment on people's bodies in
Exactly.
any way, shape or form.
And somebody needs to educate a huge amount of the population about that.
Yeah, and you know what? If there is a teenage girl buying a donut in a bakery, good on her. Eat the donut. Life is too short not to eat donuts. We've got Debbie in Altona North on the phone. Hello, Debbie.
Hello, how are you both?
Good. Debs, what do you think about this topic?
I love it. I absolutely love it, and I applaud you both for sharing the whole conversation on air. I think most parents need to know this. They need to be able to train their children because in this day and age, there is so much free speech, but it's not kind speech. And so to be able to train your child to stand up for themselves politely and with kindness is an amazing tool to have. And I just applaud you both for sharing. It's incredible.
Thanks, Debbie. I'm really, as you can hear, very passionate about this.
Righteously angry.
Especially for our children, because we need to teach them how to take up space in the world and do it kindly and make this world a better place. And part of that is calling out bad behaviour, not just letting it happen to us or walk all over us. And the fact that this teenage girl witnessed her mum do this, I pray and hope that is what this teenage girl takes away, that her mum is a warrior who stood up for her, not that a man commented on her body, because teenage girls are so impressionable and they're already worried about their bodies. Jane from the Basin on the phone. Hey, Jane.
Hey, how you going?
Very good, Jane.
I agreed with your earlier caller that mentioned about how it's just everybody feels so entitled to their opinions and they need to be heard and they can say whatever they want, like you said, Kel, without any filters.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, we also need to just be respectful but assertive in what we say. And, you know, my comment was really, I don't believe that's any of your business. So you're respecting him, but you're also putting him in his place.
I hear you exactly what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
You're a nice person, you have the best of intentions, but in some situations, including this one, sometimes you have to take a stand.
For sure.
And how do you do that, like you said, Jane, in a way that's probably not going to make things worse?
Totally, very much so.
But they're going to educate the person in question that they cannot behave the way they're behaving. It's a tough thing to do.
It is
Jane.
a real tough line, and that is true. It is a tough line, and saying that it's none of your business is a great thing. I will say this, though. There are times where I understand when we talk about respecting others, but when someone is doing something not good at all, and I'm not even going to go into details, but I've been in situations with strangers and men in public, and it does not call for my respect to him in that moment.
Correct.
I need to say that. It is not my job to make him feel okay about abuse in any way, shape or form. So in those points and those times, I can stand up for myself, but I'm not going to make him feel comfortable at my expense of my safety. Does that make sense?
Yep, and I can say also as a man, and I can guarantee you this, 100% of those men doing those things to women, 100% of them are cowards.
Yeah.
And if you call them out in public, they will fall apart very quickly.
Totally. I said it to my daughter after this incident. I said to her, you know what? He's just a scared man. And if I'd known at the time what I could have said to him, he would have fallen apart because they're just scared men. All it takes is a moment of turning around and saying to them, no, none of your business, not okay. And it can change.
The Lucy and Kel Podcast.
And dare I say, at the end of another successful podcast, time to wrap it up. We've got tons of meetings, and then Lucy and Casey out on the town.
Out on the town.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Same.
Picked a good night for it weather-wise.
Oh, no.
Yeah. This is how we like it.
We're going to be freezing.
This is how we like it. So you're going to be dressed up to the nines and runners.
Yes, that's right.
That's a good one.
That's it.
Maybe gumboots.
Cute gumboots?
Yeah, we could do that. Heel
Can you
gumboots.
do cute gumboots?
Yeah, for
I
sure.
don't have those.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why
All
not?
right. And on that bombshell, everybody, it's time to say fare thee well. Thanks for your support of the podcast. We'll be back tomorrow for a big Friday one. Until we meet again, everybody.
Ladies' night.
Well, that's all for now. But you can download more podcasts anytime or catch Lucy and Kel live weekday mornings from 6 till 10 on 89.9 The Light.
This is the end bit. This is the end bit.
Woo!
This is the end bit of the show.
And bit.